Get this on the Triple M network. We're off fabulous prizes. That's what we're offering today.
A chemical cocktail found oozing from drums dumped illegally on a dirt track.
Excellent.
Not bad.
That's what you could win on Talkback Mountain today. It's not very good. Have we got better prizes than that?
Lunch with Brian Burke.
Yeah.
Or dinner and a strip show with Rupert Murdoch's King of Tabloid.
Okay. What about lunch and stripping with Brian Burke?
Spoiled for choice.
Nah, more prizes, please, Rich.
Checks for a $53,000 breast enhancement and a $10,000 check for repairs to a car.
Okay. All this could be yours. Hang in there, people.
Not bad.
Thanks to everyone who continues to email us and bombard us with Stephen Seagal information. He's a doctor in Sydney, according to Sean.
What? There's a doctor called Steven Seagal?
Yeah.
Is his solution to everything a kick in the face?
That's the thing. You get kicked in the face. You've got bruising. You've got injuries, obviously. Off to see Dr. Steven Seagal.
Marked for death. No, not a good look.
Above the law?
That's what you want under the sun.
Even Glimmer Man's not very good.
Dr. Steven Seagal on deadly ground. Just put that on the plaque. Beautiful.
I wonder if Keenan Ivory Waynes is one of his nurses.
Mick says...
Oh, not even you two bit at Keenan Ivory Waynes.
You're talking about the Glimmer Man, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
The Slimmer Man. That's the version they should have done. What about this? Mick's pointing out he loves reading He likes to go down to the video shop and just read the taglines from the cover of Steven.
Fair enough.
They're always stuff like, "A father's rage knows no limits."
True.
It's when you bring home the DVD and it's Steven Seagal, I'm guessing.
"For those who threatened him, framed him, imprisoned him, time is running out."
That's good.
Yeah.
Or maybe I could use this line.
Your time is up!
Thank
Boydie.
you, Brian Boyd. It's no yellow belly, black steak at a
It's
barbecue.
really not.
Okay, please, let's drop the Seagal gear. It's the listeners who prompt us.
Look, this is all fine.
Yeah.
But what about the big news, Tony?
What is the big news?
Well, it's the United Nations.
Oh, okay.
Iranian President Ahmadinejad has been up there sort of telling all and sundry what he thinks about all kinds of stuff. Really controversial kind of thoughts and ideas about the world.
Yeah, that's right.
And a lot of world leaders speaking out against what he's been saying.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if you know, but Richard has actually been spending some time at the UN.
Is he just?
Yeah, for some reason, it was President George W. Bush, that bloke from France, and then R. Marsland,
Okay.
famous white anter.
Can you prove this?
I can actually, because I've actually got some audio of his speech.
Let's hear it now.
I'm Richard, and I think Arania is so naughty. That dinner jacket fellow is cute, but he says some crazy stuff. Do you delegates think Brittany should have custody of the kids? I do.
I've always had a problem with Irania.
That's right. That was the watermark, the giveaway that told you that it really was Richard Marsland.
Is George W. Bush writing my speeches?
No, you are.
I'm a dinner jacket. You know how I remember his name? It's easy to remember if you get the song in your head.
Which one?
I'm a dinner jacket and I'm okay. Sleep all night and I work all day. It's the easy way to remember.
Not
That's how George Bush probably does it. What's that song again? I need the song. He's from the OPEC nations down in Australia.
There's moves to ban sexual sounds on the airwaves. Look at this. China has led the way. Well, China has banned sexually provocative sounds on radio. And they've said that sexually suggestive images on television and sounds on radio have been banned and can no longer be used because it's making people too hopped up. They're getting all crazy. They're getting all sexual in the streets. In Beijing, people are grabbing handfuls when you're on your bike. You know what I mean? In Guangzhou, you can't walk down the street without getting goosed. You know what I'm saying, Rich?
Yeah.
Who's goosing me, you're always saying?
Yeah.
Down in Guangzhou.
Yeah.
Down at the floating markets.
Some big game of grab ass.
Anyway, so get this. We're going to follow suit, Tone.
What do you mean?
Well, people get very aroused when they're out and about listening to our show.
Sure, it's a very erotic listen.
So from now on, we're going to ban all the sexual sounds. So from now on, you will no longer be hearing this, and definitely not this.
Well, you've got to give him full marks for an audacious attempt, but you wouldn't give him full marks for honesty, Tony.
Sauce pot.
Just turn us on that voice.
What about this?
Songs to make love to.
Ed Cavalier doing karaoke. A good idea. Let's ban that now.
Yeah, get rid of it.
I saw a story on the news last night that really, sometimes you don't have to add anything to it.
No, yes.
Check this one out.
Camilla Parker Bowles has finally found her place at Madame Tussauds.
There you go.
Next to Farlap.
No further comment required. I can't believe we missed this in the New Weekly this week. Pamela Anderson has admitted she had sex in order to clear up a substantial gambling debt she'd racked up. However, the buxom blonde says the crotch for cash transaction led her to find true love with the buyer, notorious amateur pornographer Rick Salomon. I paid off a poker debt with sexual favours and fell in love.
Oh,
Pamela's reveal.
I haven't cried for 15 years. And there it is, a solitary tear.
Isn't that a beautiful story?
Something to warm the heart. My name is Rick. You owe me 200 grand. We could settle this another way.
Yeah.
By the way, I am an amateur pornographer. Will you marry me?
Mum, where did you and Dad meet?
Well, Mummy likes to play the cards, but she ain't too good at it. And Daddy has got a long line of credit with Mummy that she paid off. Well, we'll show you the tape. Let's watch the tape.
Go to 54 minutes in.
Yeah. Oh, God.
By our 10th anniversary, we'll be in the black. So to speak.
Oh, it's beautiful. We met having sex to pay off gambling debts.
That's nice.
That's
That's probably how I reckon I'll meet someone.
Yeah, going by yesterday's show, I
Yeah.
think the answer is yes. Now, Mr. Marsland, what have you been sitting on all week?
This has got to be some sort of world record.
Yeah.
And it's in Russia, where a mum gave birth to her 12th child.
Well,
That's incredible in itself.
sure,
Wow.
sure, yeah.
But the kid was 7.75 kilograms. Now, that's over 17 pounds
Right.
in the
that
old
normal?
language. I'm not sure what.
Oh, look at the look on Nicky Hamilton's face. Yeah, that's clearly big and painful.
I know that 10 is sort of getting around, like, really big, isn't it? 10 and 11 is like a...
Is that like a head like a basketball, literally?
I reckon.
Yeah,
Wow.
Maybe not mention that so close to the big day.
After the birth, Tatiana Barabanov said that her husband just stood there blinking.
Is he a horse?
Do a double take.
Eating a sugar cube?
Well, apparently during her pregnancy, she ate lots of potatoes. Here we go, Nikki. Noodles and tomatoes.
Oh, Nikki.
None of that. Thanks.
No, Nikki's eating a lot of Slurpees from 7-Eleven. Very interesting.
Jump
Okay.
on board. Oh, and by the way, guys, today's special guest. It's the giant baby.
Hang on.
Come on in.
The giant baby's in the studio.
17 pounds. What a cutie.
Gorgeous.
Take a look at him, man.
Nice mustache.
Wow, cute little
He's
baby.
gorgeous, isn't he? Look at those cheeks.
People love a giant baby.
I have to burp it. Sorry, guys. Give me a second.
Okay.
That is gorgeous, Richard. Oh, thanks for aiming it at me.
Watch for the follow through, Ed.
What are you talking about,
Just
Rich?
be careful.
Oh, yep, there it is. That is the second time that's happened to me.
That is outrageous.
Unbelievable.
Cute little baby, though.
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely. Luckily, I'm
Seven-
wearing a...
Just check the other end if you could.
Oh, everything looks clear here, Rich. I might just sit here with my face in front of it. Oh, dear. That was a poor decision.
That's unnecessary.
Very poor. Oh,
I'll see you, little baby.
See ya.
Bye. He needs some more music, though. Some different music. Some
You've got
sort of.
Music.
How's that?
Oh, the old Kim Beazley theme.
Bye. See ya,
Beautiful.
covered in chalk.
Well, we'll be back with more football talk in a moment on Triple M. Andrew Best has emailed us to say, haven't heard much from our Hollywood correspondent, as yet unnamed. What is the latest in Tinseltown, Ed?
No, Lindsay Lohan.
Okay, Andrew, I hope that satisfies you. Terry Plonker wants to know, what are you guys doing with the Kim Beazley theme? Did you just hear it before? I think the giant baby might have had it underneath. Sorry, I've gone a bit Shane Bourne.
I hope he is looking up your old address.
We had Bornie this week, and whenever Bornie comes in, we go a bit Bornie. But here's the sound that we're talking about. People love it. You know, a lot of people writing in saying, can't it be the new Joe Hockey theme? We tried it, just didn't feel right.
Hock doesn't have the same kind of lumber about him.
No.
His ass doesn't move independently from his body.
Stephen Seagal lumbering up a corridor, it works quite well
Yeah,
for,
not
but-
bad. We still haven't found the correct, the real new owner of it, have
Yeah,
we?
see, the footage is only needed for the cigar. It doesn't, describing it's not good
It
enough.
doesn't work.
Okay, listen to this. They're doing a remake of that film, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Well, they've already done one.
Wow. There's already been a remake.
They did a remake, 5 or 6 years ago.
They didn't cock it up enough, so Tony Scott's having a crack.
Oh, Scott, leave it alone.
Is this a sequel? Is this the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, 2? Because I'm looking forward to that if they could ever do
man.
that.
But look at this. My favourite Hollywood gossip, the only bloke who doesn't start with, Lindsay Lohan.
What are you, John Michael Housen?
I think I might possibly be. It's a very fine line between John Michael Housen and Alan Jones.
They're so well.
Try walking that tightrope.
Ever in the same room?
Nope. Never in the same cubicle. What we've got here is Jeffrey Wells's Hollywood Elsewhere column. Look at this. He says, I love the brassy, gutsy David Shire music that accompanies the opening credits of The Taking of Pelham 123. He's got a little link to them on YouTube. He hopes they're going to keep that theme for the remake.
No, they'll get like Fallout Boy to do a version of it. You know what I mean? It'll be all fringe.
Drum and bass.
D&B.
Bowling for Soup will be back together to crank one out. People do love Richard Marsland's impressions now.
He needs some new ones.
Yeah, well, okay, firstly, the old ones. David B says, George Harrison impressions. This is for you, Rich.
Yep.
The easiest way to sound like George is to go halfway between John and Paul and then use the word. See, you need a key word with an impression.
Yeah.
The way he pronounced hair is her. I don't care how long I grow my hair. So I'm going to give that to you.
All right, got a script now.
Practice that on the
All right,
weekend.
let's...
Okay, yeah, I can work on it on the
See what you come
weekend.
back. In the
Okay.
meantime...
That's an arc. That's a dramatic arc.
Oh, that's a show up.
That's a journey.
Yeah, good work. All right.
Because I'm going to take the weekend,
Yeah, and come back with George Harrison on Monday.
have a sit down with James Lipton. Let's discuss it. My George Harrison impression. Okay.
Inside the panel operated studio.
Fantastic.
James Lipton. And also, Marty James is saying, you know what, Rich? I'd like to hear you do a cranky Peter Cundall. Oh, because you love Peter
I'm a
Cundall.
big fan of Peter Cundall.
Who's Peter Cundall?
He's one of our television. He's
He's
an
Gardening
underrated
Australia.
television.
He's the Gardening Australia
Gardening
aficionado,
Australia.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very excited about.
He's nearly
about.
doing
Well,
it.
I'm sort of just.
Give us
Come on.
Give me
a
a moment.
touch of Cundall with Richard Marsland.
We're adding a little something to this sales contest. First prize is a Cadillac Eldorado. Second prize, steak knives. Third prize is you're fired.
That's a fantastic George Harrison.
I don't know why I was doing Glengarry Glen Ross. I'm not sure
Okay,
why.
Here's what we'll do. Monday, first thing, Cundall and Harrow in conversation.
Yeah, but if people like hearing Richard Marsland, I'm holding a DVD in my hand, Tony, which
Oh.
during this song I'm going to go and load in.
Yes, please.
And we might have some Marsland on the other side.
That's top, sizzle and dangle. Red Cavalier is working, as always, on new segments and ideas.
He should stick to his day job, pull his head in.
Oh, jeez, cop that.
Just that ruddy's turned.
You calm down now?
Yeah.
It's quite a run down to Matty
Quite a run.
D's dungeon.
He almost had a bite of lunch, but I saw to that.
That's not going to happen, not this year.
No, sir.
3-year lunch contract. 3 years in the dungeon, 1 lunch. So we're working towards that.
Okay, well, as you know, you two have been enjoying yourselves playing me singing karaoke at the ski trip.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
No,
Okay, no. All right.
let's not hear that again.
All right.
The arias are coming up, Richard.
Oh, yes.
Is that so?
yes.
And I know that, Tony, you're a big fan of the Sneaky Sound System.
Sure I am.
Do you know their song Projector?
No, I don't know this song project.
Well, this might help you.
Better not turn off your projector!
That's Rich doing on the community television.
this
doing
morning.
the hook.
Might have been this morning.
Do you know any more of that one, Rich?
Oh, might have been. I've got so many gigs.
No,
I might have been on TV this morning. I can't remember.
celebrated their 100th episode this morning, and they played a montage of some best bits, which might actually help. But was that Sneaky Sound System?
That's the Sneaky Sound System, Rich.
Right. I have no idea. That's all, every time I turn the radio on, I hear that song.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about a projector.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
we should hear it again.
load it
For
up.
those of us who didn't hear it. And now, the Sneaky Sound System.
Better not turn off your projector!
Oh, you know,
And the aria goes to...
waste. This isn't the big story, though. Big story of the day, Phil Spector. Oh, I'm
Oh,
glad.
how'd he go?
It's been a mistrial.
Hey.
10 said he was guilty.
10.
2 innocent. 2 people said that he got the woman home.
Yep.
She's gone, oh, we're not going up to have sex, are we, Phil? Hand me that gun. That's basically what happened. That's what we're being asked to believe.
What? So
Well-
that's how Phil got off.
Yeah, well, he hasn't got off. They're going to have a retrial, but that'll be months away. It probably won't happen. Something weird will happen before then.
Yeah.
If you're going to do some gear in America, if you're going to start killing people, either release a single or play some professional football, you are sweet. You are home and hose.
Do you get the feeling that Phil Spector, O.J. Simpson, and Robert Blake are just having a night out tonight? Big fat cack.
Trial by jury.
Do you remember the Robert Blake case? Do you remember that? Yeah.
What was the details of that one?
Him and his wife left a restaurant, popped out to the car, and then he's gone, oh, I've left my gun. I've left my gun in the restaurant. Gone back for the gun. in the 1 minute window while he's gone to get the gun, someone else with a gun has shot his wife in the head.
Insane. Paris Hilton.
That's
goes
how it
to
happened.
jail.
He was innocent. He got off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's a remarkable coincidence.
really is.
It really is.
What do you say about Paris Hilton?
Well, it's interesting that Nicole Richie went to jail for 70 minutes.
Did she?
These guys are just
Came out
sitting,
pregnant.
sitting
Yeah,
back
I
rolling
know.
a fat cigarette.
I think her agent got that down to 60.
Wow.
There was a plea bargain. I'll do the full hour, but, anything beyond
I'll do a
that.
television hour. I'll do 42 minutes, 2 ad breaks, that's it.
Here's what we should be talking about on this show. Oh, we've had a lot of suggestions from Drews K. He says, I feel somewhat isolated as a Get This podcast fan here in Coffs Harbour.
Coffs Harbour.
No one
Good
seems...
burger shop in Coffs Harbour.
You see, we're not on there.
Oh,
but you
whoops.
can get the podcast, though.
Yeah,
Download
delicious.
it.
Yeah.
No one seems to understand my crowbarring of the phrase dizzy stuff into any conversation, especially in my job as a pharmacist.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
It was especially inappropriate that time I snuck it into a conversation with a nice old lady regarding her lady problems.
Ouch.
Oh, dear.
Ooh.
He's sending him
Have some combantrum.
sending some stuff in for us.
What, a pharmacist is sending us stuff?
Yeah.
Well, this could be quite good.
It's all legal.
Oh.
He sent me an article from The Guardian in the UK about a new movie about a typeface.
Wingdings?
The health, not Wingdings. That does deserve a movie.
Wingdings of Desire. I'd like to see that.
It's only because it's Friday that you're getting away with that.
Oh, sorry.
Helvetica. They've done the Helvetica story.
Really?
The Adventures of Helvetica, the world's most famous font.
Who's playing the font?
Uh,
Henry Winkler as the font.
I'll have to investigate that. For Ed, I have...
That you would have done it if I didn't, panel operator.
Here's what they've got for
You're
you
silly
here.
for it.
Drew's case.
Still mad at you.
Sending you the best cat photo of all time.
Really?
But can't figure out how to attach it.
Oh.
And for Richard Marsland, I have a story. Oh, look, the rug from the Big Lebowski is on display in a cafe in the Bible Belt of the US.
Oh.
I saw it. I'm not going to tell you where in case you figure out how to steal it before I do.
That rug's
great.
been peed on, though.
Yeah, and if you know the movie, it really ties the Bible Belt together.
Ryan Shelton is with us. We are brought to you by the Nissan Navara, in case I haven't mentioned it, Ute of the Year, according to 4x4 Australia. Are you a driver, Ryan?
Well, I am a driver. I've got a car. Maybe I should get a Nissan Navara. I'm actually looking to buy a car at the moment, and I've always my whole life I've always had like hand-me-downs.
Oh, yeah.
I've always bought my dad's old car off him or something like that.
Mini Moke?
Sorry?
Mini Moke California?
Oh, several of them.
Fantastic.
One on each foot.
Bang.
And and so at the moment I'm looking around dealerships and just trying to, and I've never gone to dealerships before. And I went to a used car dealership the other day just to see what's around, and I'd never really encountered a real car salesman before.
Oh, you mean like a car salesman?
Like a car salesman in a yard, like in a dealership. And I've seen like all the movies. You see every time you see a movie or a TV show, and you see there's a car salesman character. It's always the same. It's always that really sleazebag, cliched, the same lines, all that sort of stuff. And I'd always just come to expect that. That's a dramatized version. It's a caricature.
Like as if.
Yeah.
They're not. They can't be really like that.
No.
They can't really be like Gordon Farkas in The Big Steal.
Or Gil from The Simpsons. you
Well,
know?
exactly. I mean, it's not like. I mean, it's the same for the same reason that not all fruiters are big fat Greek men telling, screaming couple of days for 3.5 minutes.
The jury's still out on that one, right?
Well, that's true. That's true. I haven't bought a lot of fruit lately. And so anyway, so I looked at the car and spoke to the guy about it, and he gave me all the normal lines. And then as I was leaving, I was finished, and I said, "Oh, look, thanks a lot, mate. I'll give you a call if I'm interested." And he goes, "I'm leaving," and I could hear his face panicking behind me.
Right.
As he's like, he's leaving. Like this is, I haven't even got through step 7 yet, and he's already leaving. And as I was walking, he's like, "Do you mind if I get your name and phone number?" And I was like, "Yes, I do mind. Actually, I prefer it if I didn't." And then he had this really sort of disappointed look on his face,
Right.
as if like, "Oh." But then I was thinking afterwards, who would give their name and phone number for no reason?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why he would be calling.
Maybe he just wanted to hang.
Well, maybe he just wanted to hang, chat, and say, "Do you want to have a drink, catch up? What's Ed Cavalier really like? Tell me all the gory details."
Have you seen Sex and the City? Because I've got the DVDs.
The two of you doing a tandem jump out of a plane.
I'm missing seasons 1 and 2 of Gary Shandling's show. Have you got it on
Help a brother
DVD?
out.
I do.
Have
I
you
got
ever
it from
had a
Tony
mocha?
Martin. But
Wow.
he's not going to say that. I know he's
No.
going to call. He's going to say, have you thought about buying the car yet? Are you interested? No, I'm not interested. He'll call back an hour later. Are you interested now? No. How about now? How about now? I'm not interested. I'll call you. I can't believe who would actually do that. Who would actually give their phone number? Idiots would.
Yeah.
Call us now, 1-888-553.
Can we climb the mountain early? No.
Okay, well...
So, yeah, that was a bit strange.
What were you looking at? 87
Yeah.
Prelude?
I'm actually
I can see you're worried that you can't mention other brands of car because we're sponsored by the Navara. Don't panic. Say what you want.
Well, then there's the Nissan Navara, then there's another company which sponsors Rove. There's I feel like I'm bound by the laws of sponsorship here. I can't mention anything.
That happened to us the other day. We were talking about the Nissan Navara, and then we started talking about the first car ever made, the Model T Ford. And Richard's going, don't mention that. Like it's a rival product. You guys mentioning the Model T? You guys been talking about the horseless carriage on here? Don't you know we're brought to you by Navara?
They're killing us in the marketplace.
I feel like as soon as you mention the word something else, just a figure's going to rise from behind the window of the studio, just moving his finger from side to side. Not that word, sir.
But that's not really what we're talking about, is it, Ed? Incriminating photographs? What sort of stuff?
Well, one from my own life. There's a photograph of me dressed head to toe in Care Bears memorabilia from when I was about 11, which I'd really like to get my hands on, but my mother, every time I go back, home or whatever you call it, it's always out, and I go to grab it, and because she's, she's a witch. She can get over there.
She's a witch.
She can get over there, get it away before I've got, it just sort of evaporates in my hand.
How did you find that out? You throw her in a lake and just see what happens.
She floats.
She floats. Mum, you're a witch. Good news.
Good job. That's something on the boil.
Okay.
But another one is young Mr. Shelton.
All right.
Here we go. Superbad premiere. You were wandering up the red carpet, and they were all over you, bro. They were all over you, doing interviews, glad-handing people, getting photographs.
It was a super bad premiere. So the theme was like a frat party thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And so when you walked in, they give you a fake McLovin ID as your pass to get into the after party, which is nice. Then they had these promo people dressed up as cops.
But they had you. The photograph they printed of you in the paper was one of them trying to arrest you.
Yeah.
And they had your hands behind your back, sort of handcuffs mode, and you giving it a bit of
Yeah, I know. And it's so obvious that everyone else was there, all the other guests that were invited, who have obviously been to hundreds of these premieres before, walked right past. And I'm obviously the new kid on the block who says yes to every photograph.
Yes,
and
he'll be
interview.
handcuffed, don't worry. Get him in a headlock.
So I'll do anything, really.
Okay, is there worse in the closet, though, Ron?
Well, there's one actually, every now and again when, I'm out and about and people think that I'm Mark Philippoussis or someone, they ask me for a photograph. And one guy actually at the airport said, look, do you mind if I get a photo with you? And I said, yeah, sure. So I had a photo with him, and he had quite a nice SLR big camera.
Cool, blimey.
And so had the photo with him, and then he was like, oh, thanks for that. And I said, yeah, no problems, have a good day. He's like, actually, do you mind if I get one just of you? And I was like, I guess so. And so he said, okay, cool, just stand against that wall. It's a nice
Just
background.
put this outfit on.
Yeah. And he just took this photo, just snapped off a few paparazzi, tick, 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 of me just standing there. I didn't know what to do. I felt like it was a headshot or a publicity shot. It was bizarre.
Maybe he wants to Photoshop you into moments in his life. Here's Ryan at my birth.
That
He
would be
delivered
weird.
me.
Okay. Now, I notice we've all turned to Richard Marsden at the same time, just as he points at his watch.
How are we doing for time?
Yeah, no, you are right. We should get a move on. I'd like to point out that this phone topic was... we'll get back. We'll be a whole special next week, Richard, because I've seen the album.
Okay.
Mark Natoli is
Thank
the
you,
man
Natoli.
who suggested this phone
Good
topic.
effort. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
We are excellent. Talk us through the photos.
Okay, I was out one night with a girlfriend at a nightclub, very, very drunk, and we started doing tequila slammer shots.
Good decision. Yep.
Licking the salt off each other's boobs.
Okay.
Taking the lemon from each other's mouths. A friend of ours took some photos.
Yep.
He told me the week later that, he works at Holden, and that he had emailed the photos to everyone on the Holden email list.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we got those in here at Triple M. In fact, I think it's the screensaver on our website at the moment.
I watched an expose on those photos on the E! Network the other night, I think. Just behind the scenes.
And what was the fallout, really?
Well, Nothing really, like very embarrassing. Like he'd emailed a few of our friends as well around the town that we lived in.
Yeah.
So, you know, a few rumours went around that we were hot and heavy with each other
Well, yeah.
and things like that. But it was all good fun, I
Yeah,
suppose.
they can't prove nothing, Kim.
All right. Well, we'd like to put your photo and phone number up on our website.
Fantastic. We're also going to forward those
Send it
photographs
in.
to some car salesmen we know. Thank
We'll
you.
spread the love around. Thank you, Kim. Have we got any other callers we can put to air?
Only one. Hi, Craig. How are you?
I was living in a house with a mate of mine, and he was separated from his wife, and we had some girl company over one night,
Oh, dear.
and a few of the guys, and a couple of photos got taken, and the film went missing for a couple of years, and it happened to turn up in my sister's hands out of the photo shop, walking down the street, and said to her friend, "Oh, just have a look through these photos while I look through this other packet," and they happened to be... the best friend was my mate's wife. Hey! For the catchphrase where she said, "They're my curtains. That's my lounge room. That's my husband."
Yes.
It was all above board, though, because they were separated. So.
Oh, of course. mate. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's all right.
Yes, you
All
and
set.
Shane Warne.
I used to have a friend that worked in a photographic, development place. Every week we'd get a selection of the finest work from the week.
Is that right? That goes
People
on.
are into some full-on gear, Craig.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Awesome.
You're awesome. That's exactly right.
Suddenly we look around and our panel operator's got a Rabbit Express hat on. How did that happen so quickly? Looking for some international news. What's going on in the Ukraine? They're having their third round of elections in 3 years. Ukrainians are voting overnight in a snap election. There's a lot of focus on the Ukraine, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, the West is kind of keen on the Ukraine. Yeah. The Russians want to take over the Ukraine, or is it part of Russia already? I'm not sure.
It used to be.
Well, see, we're not even sure if it's a real country.
No.
I'm assuming everyone wants to get their hands on the Ukraine because of all that gold.
Oh, I think it's...
All that gold that they're just chucking away, if you've checked your email box lately.
It used to be chicken Kievs, but everyone was there and they're like, there's more to this place. I mean, sure, they've injected chicken with butter, and that's good. But look at this gold.
Open an email. I'm a member of the Ukraine royal family.
And Nigeria.
And so much gold.
Isn't that a conflict of interest, Tone?
I think it probably is. What's going on in Burma? Oh, well, we've seen the...
How's the junta going?
Well, they need to smarten up their image.
Do they what?
What about a theme song? Funky Junta.
That's nice.
I'm thinking... Peter Andre should give them a call. No, but I'm
What are
having...
you thinking? Peter Andre over there. Get all the junta doing sit-ups, washboard abs, beating protesters with six-packs.
Where that funky junta. Look who the leader of the junta is. I hadn't seen a picture of him before. Fan Shui. There he is, your Burmese strongman. Fan Shui. It's different from Feng Shui.
Very different.
With Fan Shui, you put all the furniture in the corner and open fire on it! But while that's happening, you're broadcasting footage of undamaged furniture.
Absolutely. Everybody's happy.
That's how it works over there. It's get this.
I don't trust either one of them.
Oh, look, does that mean she trusts Richard? Is that what she's saying?
Probably.
Pauline Hanson, just quickly, is she running in this election?
Does she need the cash?
Yeah, she's lodged an application to register her party. Now, as you understand it, Rich, what is the name of Pauline Hanson's party?
Well, it's always... Oh, no, it's Australia United?
Ah, see, that's what we thought. No, the actual name is Pauline's United Australia Party.
Right.
Just put her name at the front.
That's good.
It's like Jim's mowing. That's fantastic.
Or the
It's a
Tony Barticio dancers.
I don't know. Am I going to vote for the Liberal Party, the Labor Party, or Pauline's?
That's nice.
That sounds much more homely.
Sounds like a cake shop.
It does sound like a cake shop.
Please explain.
No, we can't do that. I'm sorry.
Cake is... No, never mind.
I don't know. Barry's have got some good policies. Oh, Davo's have got some great stuff on the environment.
You got that Davo.
Just whack your name. That's what they need. Ruddy's.
Ruddy's ALP.
Drop all this Labor nonsense.
That's a good idea.
Just call it Ruddy's.
Bobby's Greens.
Look, let's get the listeners on board. I promised to read this out a couple of weeks ago. We had Andrew Mercado in.
TV expert.
TV archaeologist. Every time he's in, Ed says, "Have you found the masters of pot luck?"
I know, I got to keep it fresh in his mind.
Yeah, the classic mid-1980s, not pot of gold, people.
No.
Pot luck, the later, crappier version. With
Midday.
30 Singley on Channel 10. Just a gold miner material.
Unbelievable.
You wouldn't want to put it all out. but a beautiful 2-disc compilation could be mustered.
Absolutely.
I feel. I've got a beautiful email here from Simon Haynes. And have we got some appropriate music for something about potluck?
Okay,
What have you got? Okay. Simon says, I was a contestant on Potluck.
Oh.
A ventriloquist. Good old-style variety entertainment, thank you very much. I didn't win, but I was young and boyishly handsome enough to escape a mauling from Bernard King. Upon reflection, I probably could have earned more points by altering my voice, even just a little, when the puppet was talking, to avoid confusing the audience. See, that was what Potluck was all about. Because I could never be bothered with the whole not moving the lips thing that seems to be the cornerstone of other more professional vent acts. To clarify a few misconceptions, my episode was filmed in Brisbane, so it wasn't all shot in Adelaide.
Roadshow.
The producers running the auditions knew it was destined for a midday time slot because I was told to change my act to make it more suitable for a daytime audience. My material was ripped straight from the World's Best Jewish Jokes book. When I was told to tone down the possible anti-Semitism, my old man immediately rushed out and bought the World's Best Aussie Jokes, and my new act was born. They filmed 3 or 4 episodes in a day, in an hour, I heard. And the studio audience, in quotes, was made up entirely of the contestants of the shows, as well as the makeup and stagehands people. Anyone they could rope in to fill a crowd shot. I think they were moving them around. So now the camera's coming from that side, everyone shift over to that side.
Mustaches on, everyone.
Put a different shirt on.
Put your wigs on.
Bernard was in fine form, tearing strips off contestants left and right. Yes, there were tears. While I remember Ernie chuckling away, taking stiff belts from a hip flask during the ad breaks.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure that wouldn't have been happening. Okay, beautiful stuff.
Hang on,
Thank you.
Hang on.
Simon Haynes.
As a ventriloquist,
Yeah.
he's done away with the changing of the voice and the lips moving. So essentially, it's just a bloke with his hand up a doll's ass talking.
In his normal voice. While the doll just sits
Reading
there.
from a book.
Nonplussed. See, this is what we're lacking.
Where is that?
They're trying too hard on the Sunday nights. The set is too big.
There's too many lights, there's too many haircuts.
Get it back to that.
Oh.
Straight off the street in Brisbane on a national TV. Let's get back to the... Oh, no, hang on. I promised Warney, didn't I? I always forget when it's sports. But people are talking about Shane Warne. What's the latest? The women's mags always have the answers.
Who's got the scoop?
Well, last week was the new idea.
Oh, yeah.
And then Shane denied that story was true.
Yeah.
He denied the backdoor claims.
Absolutely.
The back door wasn't open, he
No,
said.
sir.
Then on the new idea today, you've got world exclusive Simone hits back. Shane's a bully and a liar.
Uh-oh.
And what's going on the front of Women's Day? Jemima confesses I'm Shane's new woman.
Who's Jemima? Is
Jemima
that
Khan.
Oh, Imran Khan's ex-wife.
Yeah, was going out with Hugh Grant for a while there.
Oh.
But she's now definitely going out with Warney. You know why? Because the photoshopping on this picture is top shelf.
It really is.
That's like they wouldn't have busted out top shelf Photoshop to
That's
make it
true.
look like they're together
That's very true.
if they weren't together.
No. They use the tacky one, just the cut and paste where you can see the sellotape. But this one, I mean, those photographs look like they might have even been taken the same decade. That's new.
It's incredible. But as Shane Warne says, anyone who's thinking of leaving their wife for a string of younger women...
I'd recommend it to anybody that's going a little bit bald and thinking of it.
There you go.
Get in there and have it done. It's pretty easy.
Fair enough. It's pretty easy.
Get it sorted. But listeners, what have they been sending us now? Now, that gentleman who sent... What was his name?
Simon Haynes.
Simon Haynes. Beautiful email about Potluck. We've sent him a copy of Barge Ass and the Olden Days on DVD.
Yeah.
DVD of the year, according to 4x4 magazine. They
know-
haven't
they know their
announced that.
stuff.
Yeah, they haven't said anything publicly, but I know that's what they're thinking. And also... Send something to this bloke here. What's he sent us, Rich?
It's from Chris, a.k.a. Spanky.
Oh, hello, Spanky.
Hey, guys, taped the ABC News in Brisbane last night and got these quotes. This is great. I love it when people are getting into the show so much that they're writing stuff. This is great.
That's right.
Here's what I'm thinking. So he sent us these audio grabs.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking. For the first quote, the first audio bit, Tony could say, who'll be our guest for the next hour?
Okay, I haven't heard this, so who'll be our guest for the next hour?
Will it be Julia Gillard? Will it be Lindsay Tanner? Will it be Peter Garrett?
Hilarity ensues, Marsland laughs.
That's not bad.
Hang on, why is the Prime Minister doing his address to the nation from a toilet? What's going on there?
It is a dodgy...
Have you noticed he loves saying Peter Garrett? He's
Yeah.
always Peter Garrett.
laughs.
It's like it's something contemptuous.
Ridiculous.
It's like you're saying a dog turd. What's that over there? It's a bit of Peter Garrett.
The singer who lost his voice. For the second audio bit, Tony could be introducing Ed's prizes, the total value of which is...
So that's what I say?
Yeah.
Ed's fantastic prizes with a total value of...
$600 billion. $600 billion. Billion dollars.
Once again, hilarity, Marsland laughs.
Absolutely.
What's the inference in this? That I'm laughing Richard Marsland?
Yeah, you're a laughing fool.
I'm a chuckle box? I probably am. I've had to listen to some of those podcasts. Still waiting for one of my emails to make it on air. I'm glad you addressed the spelling mistake on your website. You didn't have to make a whole new site, though. Just moving the offending apostrophe would have been fine.
Okay.
Love the show. I'm applying for producer at Brisbane community station Switch, 11:97 a.m.
Oh, I know their work.
Yeah.
But why would you name a radio station? I'm sure they do fine work.
Yeah.
But Switch? Like a radio station called Switch?
What do you mean, like switch over?
You're giving people ideas.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just
very
call your
true.
TV network Flip Around Now, people.
If I get the position, I'll no doubt be using some, let's face it, all of your ideas in the show. But we've used a couple of yours.
No, it's beautiful. We've got an ideas exchange program going.
very much.
I'm sure the Brisbane office of Triple M will be very happy
Yeah.
to hear about that.
Is there any chance you could email me your ratings for the last period? I'd be really interested to see them. Also, do you have the podcast figures? Oh, I'm talking Nash and Reed as well, just so you know.
But not Taz.
No, not Taz. Thank you, Chris, a.k.a. Spanky.
So I went to the dentist this morning, and no, nothing wrong, but he's doing the old, the cleaning with the machine, sort of chipping away.
They don't look cleaner, Tony.
No, they never do. They will once I'm on a billboard, though. It's amazing how they come up on the billboards. I'm Donny Osmond in Brisbane. But I'm going, why are you taking so long cleaning behind there? And he's going, some kids have added Khan the cat. Just in tiny, when I was asleep, obviously. I got in there.
Really?
So that's been chipped off.
Cheeky brother.
Oh, hang on. Or for Sydney listeners, Khan the Storm.
No, that's Melbourne listeners, Tony.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Sea Eagles?
Yeah, but it's the NRL.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm talking about.
Either way, they were nail biters. My nerves are shot since this weekend.
Really?
Exciting games, weren't they? Down to the
I
wire.
tell you what,
Yeah.
my heart was pounding after that
so
first bounce.
What you're suggesting through your sarcasm is a complete waste of time.
Well,
So I was right not to get involved.
probably.
Okay, let's stick to something that I can do. Because Niles Twentyman has emailed in and he says, "Hey, Tony, haven't heard you do one of your trademark Cockney sing-alongs in the new time slot.
Very true.
As Alan Bro pointed out, teenagers already half sounds like a music hall standard. Come on, Martin, pull the finger out."
Because you are lazy. Lazy.
So, Niles, here we go, just for you. It's My Chemical Knees Up. They're gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make cities in and out of you. Cause they say they're gonna keep an eye on your son so they can watch all the things you do. The drugs never work, they're gonna give you a smirk. They've got methods to keep you clean. They're gonna rip up your heads, your aspirations to shreds of all the coke in the murder machine. All teenagers scare the living shit out of me. They can care less as long as someone will bleed. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me. All together now. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me. Keep it emo. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me. Yes, you never know what we'll play next.
Get this at the new time of 2 o'clock.
Or in Adelaide, 3 o'clock.
On the Triple M network.